Sadistic Penguin Studios presents It's Getting Drafty in Here.
Drafty old barn.
The show of drafting random nonsense.
I choose business ethics.
And now, coming to you from his basement, a.k.a. Draft Headquarters, your host and draft master, Magnificent Stan.
Hello, welcome to episode 36 of It's Getting Drafty in Here. I am your host, Magnificent Stan. Today is Tuesday, January 30th, 2024. And today we're going to be doing a draft, pretty much a recasting of the sci-fi mega, whatever you want to call it, Star Wars. And we're only going to be using actors that were on Saturday Night Live. So joining me with me today is not Larry. How are you, Larry?
Hey, good to see you.
Also joining me from the Chicago Sports Bums, Peter Bologna Fonseca.
What a voice. What an intro.
Thank
you, Ryan.
I'm
glad to be back.
All right. Also joining us from the 108, Chorizy E.
Oh man, I love it. I love hearing the Saturday Night Live voice. I feel like I should be funnier though to live up to it.
I have a buddy of mine and I used to stare at each other, just shoot like random Saturday Night Live names at each other with that voice. Alan Cleghorn, worked out pretty well. So we're not going to dilly-dally here. We're going to get right moving in here. As you can see on the board here, we have 4 characters: Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Darth Vader. Then we have a wild card, which is any character you want to match up with any actor you want. So, thought that one would be fun. If time permits, maybe we'll add a second wild card to it. But I think we have enough to fill our time today. But yeah, so let's get moving here. Chorizy, you won the lottery, so you get to go first.
I did win the lottery. Now I'm feeling very lucky here. I'm taking this guy first overall because I think he would go at some point for some character, and this just to me this the first person I thought of when we came up with this, and it's Chris Farley as Luke Skywalker. I think that would be fucking incredible. Like, just imagine him reacting to all the stuff that happens in New Hope, or like explaining to Owen that there's something wrong with the droid. Like, all of it becomes hilarious just by having Chris Farley in that role. So I'm number one with a bullet.
You get like the Matt Foley voice just screaming about wanting to go to the Tashi station for power converters.
Yeah, and like when Obi-Wan gets killed, imagine him like grabbing his hair and like pulling it up straight up in the air and screaming like, oh man, it's just all perfect.
He tries to swing on the rope with Leia and he slams into the wall.
Or when he's shooting him with the little the practice thing, shooting him with those little like beams. Oh man, it's all comedy gold with Farley.
Absolutely, that's perfect. That was in my head on. I was like thinking of a wild card for Farley too, but Luke Skywalker, especially in New Hope, is so like fish out of water, and who displays that better than Chris Farley? So I gotcha.
Just like Tommy Boy Chris Farley is like the perfect Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Brian. I thought of when I thought of Farley, I was trying to fit him into a wild card role, not even thinking that he's the leading man in the movie, but it makes sense when you explain it how Chorizy just explained it. It'd be beautiful.
Yeah, genius. Good pick.
Right on. Well, let's move on to number 2 with Bologna.
All right, so I told you guys pre-show that I was gonna go wild card for my first pick, and it's because when you explained the concept of this to me, Brian, it was immediately the first character I thought of and the first actor I thought of. So I'm going Daryl Hammond, but I'm specifically going Daryl Hammond as Sean Connery, and he's playing Alec Guinness's character of Ben Kenobi. I just want Ben Kenobi to be telling everyone your mother's a whore and just going after people. So that was in my head. I was like, I know usually when I do these with you, Brian, I usually go chalk for my first pick. But when I thought of this draft, I'm like, I want Daryl Hammond as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Like, could you like? I'm loving it because I'm thinking of like the part where he's talking to Luke and he's like, "You knew my father?" And he's like, "Yeah, I fought with him in the Clone Wars. I cut his arms and legs off.
I walked away as he burned to death." Oh man,
I think that's good too. Like, you know, he could even, because Obi-Wan, you know, he gets killed and then kind of, you know, comes back as the voice. You could even have him like transfer into like some different Daryl Hammond character, like away from.
He all of a sudden becomes Bill Clinton.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then he's encouraging him to hook up with Leia. Like that would be a pure Clinton move right there.
Fuck your sister, Luke.
I like Yumper in the comments saying, "Don't get ahead again, Bologna." I told you guys Yumper was going to be hating on my big brain picks. He just can't think out of the box. I'm sorry, Yumper.
Head again, Bologna. Oh man. All right. Well, that's a good one. I like that. Especially you framed it as like it has to be as Sean Connery.
That's who I thought of as immediately when you talked about this.
Luke and Leia, your mother's a whore.
Your mother's a whore. Just calling everyone a whore.
All right, that's a good one, Larry.
Okay, so I am starting off with because we really only have one female role here. So I'm going to start off with my Princess Leia pick. And we were talking a little bit before the show, like, you know, looking through like some of those people that you didn't remember were cast members. And so I'm starting off with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who was a cast member in the mid 80s, kind of like some of those forgotten years. But I just picture like some of those lines coming like from Elaine, like, "Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper?" You know, like she's talking to George Costanza. Like, I just think that's perfect.
I really love that pick. I had her on my list.
Yeah.
Me and Bologna were hanging out this weekend, and I told him that like if we had like all the movies to pick from, I was gonna have her as Admiral Holdo just to talk shit to Poe Dameron. Like that's like I get exactly where you're coming from. I love it.
Don't you think you're a little short to be a stormtrooper? Yeah, that's perfect.
I'll just push him.
Get the fuck out.
She's doing the little kicks dancing after they blow up the Death Star.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. G.G. Allen would be a perfect Yoda, but he wasn't an SNL cast member, so we can't.
I like that Dougie's saying like he's never seen Star Wars when I watch, because we have plans to do a Star Wars review like we're doing with the MCU review, but now we're adding in all these SNL characters. He's not gonna know what to expect when he watches these movies.
His head's gonna be spinning.
I am going to blow every part of this movie just because Dougie's watching and had to tell us that he didn't watch. He's never seen a Star Wars movie.
He's had
all spoilers now, Dougie.
Spoil everything. I've been wanting to do a Star Wars draft for a while, and Bologna, I've talked to Bologna, you came up with all the ideas for that one. I just haven't watched any of the series yet, so I can't, you know, until I watch that, we can't do it. So
I'm gonna tie you up like open your eyes like Clockwork Orange, make you watch them all in a row. We're gonna start with Boba Fett too, so you get that one out of the way.
That'll work. Okay. I'm gonna go Princess Leia too, because I'm freaked out that Larry was gonna take her just now. I'm just gonna show this. Come on.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I like that you have visual clues to help your argument. You've lost a lot. You've lost enough in these. You're getting smarter now, Brian.
That's the only one I have. But thank you, Peter.
But no, that's a great call. Tina Fey is obviously
fits perfectly. She's I mean, she's just cynical, just like Princess Leia is. You know, she still has like I mean, I don't even have like a specific character that she would play that would be Princess Leia. I think it's just like a perfect match. So I'm going that route. And then Yeah, I'm gonna go with my wild card. What actor did we discuss in pre-show, Chorizy and Peter?
Are you going Lovitz?
I'm going John Lovitz as Greedo.
Yes. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, maybe you give me the money. I figure you're not here, you know?
Yeah,
you could tell me John Lovitz is any of these characters.
Lovitz as Watto was going to be my pick if we were going all the movies. But I love this one. I love this one.
I was going to have him as Han Solo because you just picture I love you. Yeah, you picture I love you. I know. Who's scruffy looking?
Oh, man. Great shot, kid. Don't get cocky. I love John Lovitz so much.
It's a great call.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
That one's been like just rattling around in my head for like 2 weeks. So it was perfect. All right, Larry. We are gonna rip through this draft. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, so we might add another wild card if you guys want to start to think about it.
I'm down.
I'm really torn on where to go. All right, I'm going to go with my Luke Skywalker, another person who I got from I didn't realize that this person was on SNL. He was there from 2012 to 2016. I'm going to go with Tim Robinson.
Oh, nice.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So I
think he was mostly a writer, right? And then he wrote some skits.
He was only in a couple sketches.
Yeah,
and who are you going to have him play?
Luke Skywalker.
Okay.
So it's like, is there anything I can do? Not unless you can speed up time.
Oh man, I'm looking at your board right now, and it's fucking funny.
Yeah, it is. It is really funny. Can you drive this faster? I didn't do fucking shit.
Imagine him getting as the gunner, like the scene where he doesn't know what to do in the car, where he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Did you just burn your hands on the steering wheel?
Yeah, that's good.
Did you just kill that ship full of orphans? Oh man, that's a good one. I guess he was a cast. That's funny. Yeah, he was a cast.
Yeah, he was more of a writer, but he definitely was on in a couple sketches. I don't know if he had many speaking roles, to tell you the truth, but if you Google him, he's in a bunch of the background scenes.
There's an article. Yeah. I just looked it up, and there's an article. It just says, "Was Tim Robinson too weird for SNL?"
Probably.
It's pretty accurate.
I could just see him and Lorne Michaels just being like, "I don't get it."
Well, you think about the cult audience that he has for I Think You Should Leave. Like, that's nowhere near an SNL audience. Like, so like on that show, it's like, what are you doing? No one's gonna get this. And then, but there are maniacs, like the four of us probably, that are like, that's exactly what I want.
Yeah. I turn it on and I'm laughing and my wife's like, I don't understand anything.
Get it. Yeah.
I don't know why this is funny.
It's an acquired taste for sure. All right. Peter.
All right, Bologna, don't fuck up my turnaround.
Well,
don't get in your head before you pick. I just want you. I want you not to get in your head.
Yumper's for sure going to complain about it somehow. But there's already 2 Luke Skywalkers on the board, but I don't want to lose this character or this actor. So I'm going with my leading man, and it's Mike Myers. Mike Myers as Luke Skywalker.
Ooh. I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
All right, so then never mind. I'll talk to you guys later.
He's in his fucking head again. No. What version of Mike Myers are you?
Well, I'm more thinking, obviously like Wayne's World. There was a scenario in my head where I thought about doing that, and I don't want to spoil pigs, but Dana Carvey as the other person on the board, and I'm like, maybe I just go that route, but I'm not going to do that. But I definitely wanted him, so.
Luke with a Scottish accent.
I think that's pretty good if he's like the I'm picturing him as like So I Married an Axe Murderer Mike Myers. Like, I made the Kessel Run in under 12 parsecs. Nerd alert.
I think if you say So I Married an Axe Murderer, I'll be with you. It's one of the few Mike Myers movies I like.
So it was my buddy Kevin. He said Mike Myers. He meant Simon in the bathtub. That's the one that popped into my head as you were picking it, Peter.
Simon,
the British kid.
Yeah.
In the bathtub drawing.
I got prune hands.
All right,
That's an underrated sketch in general.
Fuck that pick. Chorizy, you're
All right. I got two guys I want to grab. So I'm thinking Chevy Chase Vacation era as Han Solo. I think him flying the Millennium Falcon like he's driving around in the vacation movies. I need that. That's the guy I need. And just I think his interactions would be perfect with kind of everybody in the crew, because he could be a dick and he could just be kind of goofy, and it's like perfect Han Solo.
Fix the hyperdrive. He's wearing
Bologna went dead there. Maybe my pick sucked too.
I don't like Chevy Chase. I've
you don't like Chevy Chase?
I think I've talked about it on this show specifically, but yeah, no, I haven't. Like, I'm not a vacation guy, and I've just never really gotten into anything he's done.
I don't know if I love him as I don't know if I love him as Han Solo. I would like him as many, like he would be a great Obi-Wan Kenobi.
So you're thinking of him as old though, man. You got to think like vacation era. Like he's.
I'm thinking your cast. You've got the manic energy of Chris Farley, and then Chevy Chase is like almost a straight man, kind of that dry delivery. I think that's good.
Well, there is some dry delivery coming up, because my Darth Vader is my one of my favorite SNL actors of all time.
Oh no, you're doing
Norm Macdonald.
God damn
Norm
it.
Macdonald.
That was my next
Darth
fucking pick, man. God damn it.
I thought about doing Norm as like a dry pan Han Solo.
He would have been good, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously he has to be on someone's board, and Vader, that's a great call.
That was exactly what I was gonna do. I was gonna talk about how like Vader's known just for his voice, and he has one of those voices, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, like if like imagine him just being like, "Hey, Luke, what do you think about the dark side?" Be perfect. He's just, the whole thing would be fantastic. I actually want I want this voiceover to be done somehow.
So there I was slicing up all those children like I was O.J. Simpson. Jesus Christ, it's fucking perfect, man.
You know what I'm gonna do? Blow up Alderaan.
Yeah, Han Solo, Turd Ferguson.
That would be good too.
Name is actually Ferguson, Turd Ferguson. Oh boy!
All right,
damn it, Chorizy, you stole my pick.
I know. Norm Macdonald had to have been on this one. So now I'm thinking about my voice, and it's the same thing, you know. Like, you just expect a voice to be the voice of Darth Vader, and I thought it would be hilarious if it was Tracy Morgan. So I thought Tracy Morgan as Darth Vader.
Padme, I'm gonna get you pregnant.
Yeah, exactly.
All I could think, Bologna, is like, so he's got the ventilator there, right?
It's gold,
but then no covering over his belly. His belly's just out, bare belly.
I had him on my list for R2D2.
It's a fantastic pick.
Having him as the playing as the stabbing robot from they played in 30 Rock.
I am a stabbing robot.
I just want to hear it. I'm sure like some AI I could go online and get the AI to do it, but just like the ventilator voice and just say like, I'm Brian Fellows.
Luke, I'm your daddy. I got your mama pregnant. I watched a clip with Jay Moore doing Tracy Morgan, and you should look it up when you get a chance. All he does is just keep yelling, "I got you pregnant!" like over and over again, and it's perfect.
There's some crazy, like he was on some show on like in like El Paso or something. Like it was El Paso morning show or something because he was going to be in town that night. And he's just got his belly out and he's like rubbing it and he just keeps talking about how he's going to get someone pregnant that night. And like that, and it's like morning show people where they're like, we've got Tracy Morgan on today. He's going to tell us about his sweet comedy show coming out tonight at whatever place. And he's just like, someone's getting pregnant. And he's sort of like rubbing his belly, shirts off, just fucking amazing.
He always talks about his daughter. He always screams about his daughter, like my daughter did that, and he doesn't have a daughter. That's the best part.
Well,
he only has sons.
He does in this movie.
Right. He used to sell PCP at the Meadowlands. So I'm on a podcast once talking about how he had like a cornucopia of drugs he would sell as he was like selling parking at the Meadowlands.
Man, I got to look out for that when guys are waving me in for parking.
Right?
I know, right?
Bologna, what kind of stuff do you get when you're parking at Comiskey? Any
No,
offers
none of the
PCP?
All of the synthetic stuff nowadays.
Okay.
Just some rolls for everybody. All right, Larry.
Yeah. All right. So there's a run on Darth Vader's, and so I'm going to go with my Darth Vader with a iconic voice, and that's going to be Gilbert Gottfried.
Yes.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed. The ability, yeah. I just
keep going. No, keep going.
Slow, loud. No, I haven't worked on it nearly enough to be able to go, but just that slow, loud delivery underneath. And I don't even think I want like the breathing apparatus or anything like that. Just that clear voice coming right out of the suit.
So yeah, now I got to pick up some Darth Vader lines and just start screaming them into the phone or into the microphone like.
You should not have come back, old man.
He's as clumsy as he is stupid.
Yeah, I had him as a 3PO in like
that'd have been fucking great too.
In my honorable mentions.
Oh man. Oh, I'm like stuck now.
Which I probably, well, I mean, he's taken now, but probably should have saved that because we're doing another wild card, but can't.
Oh, Brian's got the turnaround.
Yeah, dude, I'm like stuck now. Well, I'm gonna go with my Han Solo. This was one that in my original list. I'm gonna go Dennis Miller as Han Solo.
Oh, that's
I thought about Dennis Miller.
He's such a cocky prick, he would be absolutely perfect.
Specifically Monday Night Football, Dennis Miller.
Right, and he's like, I can make the Kessel run in 12 parsecs. Madeline Albright. Dennis Miller. He was the worst. He's worse than Tony Romo with football games for sure.
No, that booth was god awful.
Yeah, it was really bad. And I am stuck now. I'm trying to figure out who to take. Maybe I should have prepared better.
So this is what happens when you go in with a strategy, Brian.
This was what happens when you don't have a job and you're just sitting around doing nothing all day.
Well, you got time to watch the Disney Star Wars TV shows.
Exactly.
The hell.
All right, I'm gonna go. Darth Vader is Billy Crystal.
Oh man,
I like that.
I like it.
It's like, Luke, Leia, you look marvelous. I just made that joke up, just right there.
I should have came with more impressions. That's what I didn't do. I did my homework. I
cannot do.
I tried to do them. Some of them are great and some of them are awful. So.
I kind of got a Norm just because I almost talk like Norm already. So like
I chickened out on a Tracy Morgan one. I wanted to do it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it.
So the only other guy I thought of is Darth Vader, Kevin Nealon. I thought Kevin Nealon just kind of doing like the subliminal message.
You and I discussed that, I believe, at one point.
Doing subliminal message, Darth Vader, like that could have been fun.
It's like very calm and like relaxing Darth Vader.
Yeah, like a combination of him and Grandma's Boy, and then him doing the subliminal message. Like that would be basically the Darth Vader he plays.
When I think of Kevin Nealon more, I think of his. Did you guys get the Adam Sandler albums when we were in like high school? And there's one where he's like a shrink, and he's trying to talk to Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler keeps farting, and he just keeps trying to go with it. You know, he would play a perfect shrink. He basically is one in Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, he wants to go home. Happy.
He just wants to go home.
You got Luke Skywalker left?
Yep.
Oh man, I have a guy that I wanted as Luke Skywalker, but
I
couldn't do it.
I was stuck at this point. All I had left were ones that you guys already had you guys already picked them all. So, Larry.
Wait, don't.
Larry.
Oh, it's Larry. Okay,
okay. All right. I'm going to go with my Han Solo pick. I'm going to go with David Koechner.
Wow.
Champ Kind from Anchorman. So I want that like just loud, boisterous, over the top kind of that the Champ. Well, I mean, really, that's like the character.
How he wasn't in the SNL universe for a while. I mean, was he?
A couple years,
on like a season or two. I mean, it doesn't matter. He was still on it, but I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's a.
It was like. I think it was like that transition from like that Sandler Farley cast into like the Will Ferrell cast, where they just kind of did, tried to like see what stuck, and I don't think he was on there that long, maybe a year or two.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. I don't think it was very long, but I definitely remember him being on. So it was definitely during one of the eras that I watched,
95, 96.
Okay. I'm laughing at Beef's pick, or his comment saying the picks combined for a total of 11 episodes. And I'm also laughing because it's obviously not Larry. Not Larry.
But you have to call him Larry on this, because if you say it's not Larry's pick, it's very confusing.
Yeah, it could be any of ours. That's a good point. That's
true. That's true.
All right, Pete.
All right. Han Solo. I'm going with Tim Meadows, specifically as the ladies' man, because if you think of Han Solo, he is the ladies' man of this universe. But yeah.
He sees Leia for the first time, like, ooh, it's a lady.
Yep.
That's perfect.
Ask her if she's hiding two fine hams underneath that cloak,
He's walking around with a bottle of Cavassier.
Yeah. No blue milk in this.
It's a lady.
Ooh, I like the butt.
Yeah, it's most definitely the butt.
Do it in the butt. Also, I'm looking at my board. Shout out me for the diversity, not you guys.
Oh, wait, you just wait, my friend. You just wait.
Shit.
I'm scared now. Well, Chorizy, you got your last two here.
I'm gassing.
Okay,
Thank you,
so I'm gonna go with my wild card, and I think this changes the character a little bit, but I think it works. I'm gonna have David Spade as C-3PO. I think like a little bit sassier of a C-3PO, kind of a dick. I think that David Spade could pull that off.
That's a good. Yeah, he'll definitely be.
He's like
more of an asshole.
He's like, R2, if you could fix the hyperdrive, it'd be great.
People are getting off the Millennium Falcon. He's like, bye-bye.
That's an underrated sketch.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. What you reading? Popeye? How about bye-bye?
And
all right.
Martin was in that one with him.
I'm going a little weird.
A
little weird for Princess Leia.
All right.
A little weird for Princess Leia, but I feel like I thought of this, and I thought it was really funny in my mind, so I'm going to share it. I'm taking Leslie Jones as Princess Leia.
Oh,
that's brilliant.
Oh man,
That's good. You said just you wait, and I mean you delivered.
that's
I mean
diversity.
she's just gonna be yelling at everyone.
Oh yeah, I mean, like her, like you think about her at the beginning of it, where she's like bossing people around. And shit.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be fantastic as Leslie Jones.
Damn.
That is a good one. I just want to see gratuitous sex scenes with Leslie Jones and Chevy Chase.
Who doesn't? I don't know if 1970s audiences were ready for that, but I think they should have been.
Oh man, that's good. I like that. I want to see her with the hair and everything. That would be.
Oh yeah.
See, I think the hair stays.
Like you got to keep it the same.
No, her hair. No, I think her hair, like just as she has it every day. Like,
okay, I mean, I'm good with that too.
I want to point out.
Looking forward to Return of the Jedi. Just to be honest,
that's where you're thinking 3 steps ahead.
I know. I'm getting ahead of myself.
So our buddy Tony has had a couple of comments today that have really cracked me up. Real tomato ketchup, Chewy.
Yeah. See.
And then he said something about a tauntaun by the river. Like,
that's good.
Thank you, Tony. Good job, man. All right, Bologna, your last pick.
Yeah, so I've got Leia left. There's still some really power, like heavy hitting ladies. I'm gonna go with one of them. A lot of people consider it like the side character to Brian's, but I'm going Amy Poehler. I think Amy Poehler on her own stands up. I love Parks and Rec. I think she's funny in everything she does, and I think like she would play a good Leia, like if this was an actual role.
Yeah.
I like that one. I like that one. I didn't have her on my list, but that's a good pick.
And she's a hell of a writer too. So if we're writing the movie too, I'd let her run wild with it.
They could have had her write the prequels. It would have been better.
So someone says no Maya Rudolph. That was my number 2.
That's my wife.
Yeah, I had her on my
because I was thinking Idiocracy. Maya would be perfect as Leia.
That'd have been funny. What was the name of the pimp? Upgrade?
Upgrade with double D for a double dose of his pimping.
Such a good movie. It's like a survival manual now.
Yeah, it's basically what's happening outside. So,
yep. All right, wild card for Larry.
Okay. I wanted to take a very odd character with a weird look to him and put somebody in there who's used to playing odd characters with weird looks. Like if you watch 30 Rock, you see Rachel Dratch in there like a ton as like all
she always plays somebody different. Yep.
Somebody super strange. So I want her as the pig nose guy.
Oh,
because I think that just like creepy weirdo, like you feel like you can smell her through the TV, like just the way she just gets into like that weirdness. I want Rachel Dratch.
And then there's always going to be the camera cut to her and like her eyes, where she she tells a full story with just like 2 seconds.
Her saying
Debbie Downer eyes.
Yeah, the Debbie Downer eyes.
Her saying she's wanted in 10 different systems or something would be fantastic.
Chorizy, does that guy have a name?
Dr. Evazan, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dr. E is works, I think.
I'm just trying to see if I can figure out the.
It's.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know the spelling.
No, I'll just put Dr. E. Okay. That's a good one. I like that, Larry. Now it's popping into my head. Like she's perfect.
The hard thing about the like talking about some of these picks is like you can see it, you can even hear it, but nobody can really do an impression.
Yeah. That's a great point. Like in my head, like I talked about like Tracy Morgan and all these things. Like you almost create scenes in your head, but then explaining it to people, Yumper hates them.
All right. I think it's criminal that we haven't picked him yet, so I'm going to pick John Belushi as my Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Eddie Murphy. Because I was thinking golden child Eddie Murphy as Luke would work.
Yeah.
Or Beverly Hills Cop Eddie Murphy as Luke Skywalker.
See, Beverly Hills Cop, he's too experienced though. Golden Child, he's kind of an idiot, you know. Like I think it works. But yeah, that era of Eddie as Luke, I think that could be a lot of fun.
Okay, so we have a couple options here. Something popped in my head while we were doing this. We could do another round of wild cards if you want, or I can just start naming actors, and we can just cast them.
I mean, I think everybody's got dump lists, right? We could go.
Yeah, we can just go through dump lists or do wild card
I,
dump lists because
I think there's probably some good ones, but
yeah, we can incorporate. I know I had the panel stick to just New Hope characters, not Star Wars throughout the whole universe. But yeah, I don't envision us doing a follow-up to this, obviously. So, because we already took out all of the actors. So, yeah, why don't we let's just go over wild card dump lists.
Of all the movies?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, the one I had in the chat, I think was probably my best one, which was Chris Kattan as Salacious Crumb. I think that one would work really well.
Yeah, and I went back with you and I said I had Chris Kattan as Babu Frick of the newer movies because I mean Chris Kattan could play any. You think of him as Mango and it's he could play any of these puppets basically.
I was thinking of Mr. Peepers or whatever, where he's chewing through the apples real fast. That's what when I thought of that, I was like, yeah, Salacious Crumb's right up his alley. But Babu Frick is in the same vein. I love it.
Now Martin Short is Jar Jar Binks, right?
I had Martin Short as either Armitage Hux or Grand Moff Tarkin. I feel he's got to be a bad guy. He's got to be a bad guy.
Oh man.
I had Bill Hader as Grand Moff Tarkin.
Oh
he could
man,
play
that would be
he could just play that kind of an asshole deadpan.
Have you ever heard his Jabba impersonation?
No, I haven't.
It's incredible. It's perfect.
He is the voice. Him and I think someone else are the voice of BB-8 though.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's Bill Hader and someone I forget the other guy's name, but it's really their voices melded together and then distorted.
That's wild.
There were two I really wanted, but you said the parameters were cast members. But my first thought with Han Solo was Albert Brooks, who in the first season directed a bunch of movies or a bunch of shorts for it. I thought he would have been perfect, but not a cast member.
Yeah, that would have been a little too deep cut. I mean, Tim Robinson is already kind of a
sure.
Yeah.
My other one was again not a cast member, but a huge contributor early on. Andy Kaufman as C-3PO.
Oh, I love that.
I love that. That's a great one.
That'd have been perfect.
I was
Ben Schwartz, Chorizy is the guy from Parks and Rec.
Yeah. The other one I was thinking of that was a non-cast member that would have I would have liked to try and find a spot for him was Steve Martin. Steve Martin could be incredible in every role. So but he was never a cast member. I don't think he was just
he hosted a
million times.
Yeah,
and he did a lot of guest spots too.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay,
my second. John Hamm does that a lot for SNL now, or he was until a couple of years ago.
My second wild card, if we were going to go around, was going to be Horatio Sands as Porkins. Just one scene.
That would have been great. That would have been great.
Yeah.
See, I thought Horatio Sands would have been the guy that's in the Falcon with Lando. What's that?
Yeah. Nien Nub or whatever his name is. Yeah.
I think
the other 3PO I had was Will Ferrell. I was gonna. It was either David Spade or Will Ferrell, but I kind of wanted the asshole C-3PO, so I went Spade. But Will Ferrell not quite fitting right in the suit too would have been glorious.
I think Will Ferrell would have been a good Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
so
I think
I thought about him.
I think it works.
Now, like my dump list, Luke Skywalker is probably better than my actual Mike Myers pick of Luke Skywalker that everyone shitted on. But I had Jason Sudeikis, and then I had Robert Downey Jr. and he was just there for a cup of coffee, and I would just think of him more as an actor than anyone. But I mean, I feel like he could probably have played Luke Skywalker pretty decent.
I had Sudeikis as a Han option. I thought that could have been a good Han option.
Yeah, and then
what about
my other
Colin Quinn as C-3PO?
I like that. Colin Quinn, man, he's
like that.
Sneaky funny, man. That guy was hilarious.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson as Jar Jar Binks. You guys in for that one?
Yeah, of course.
All day.
Yeah, I had Bill Murray as Han.
What about? So I know Chris Farley got taken. What about Chris Farley as the king of the Gungans?
Oh yeah, the
guy with the cheeks. You know?
The cheeks.
That'd have been perfect for Farley.
Yeah, Bologna. I had Bill Murray as Count Dooku. I thought that would work.
All right, I can see that. And then my only other Vader, it was Keaton Thompson, and I had Phil Hartman as Vader.
Oh, Phil Hartman, yeah.
Phil Hartman would have been good. Vader. He was in my head when I took Billy. I thought Billy Crystal would have been a little more distinguishing than Phil Hartman. Maybe I don't know.
I did have Kristen Wiig as a possible Leia. That would have been like a little bit.
Absolutely.
It would have been a different character for sure.
I also had Kate McKinnon.
Yeah, Kate McKinnon can play anything.
Yeah.
She was my. I told Brian I had two different strategies going in, and one of this
That
was
one right there. That one right there.
As Beef Loaf said, the people with a combined 11 episodes, or I was going to do an all-female cast, and I had Kate McKinnon as my Vader for the all-female cast.
Leslie Jones would have been a good Vader.
Hell yeah.
We haven't talked about Adam Sandler. Anybody have Adam Sandler anywhere?
I didn't. I couldn't think of anything for him. The thing is, like with this movie, there's not a lot of side characters, and a lot of the side characters are in costume, right? Like so, thinking of like Randy Quaid as Chewbacca with no makeup would be good, right? Like there's no costume. He's just Chewbacca, and he's on the run. That version of Randy Quaid.
Yeah, and if we would have opened it up to like just the original trilogy, then I think that's where in my head I had Eddie Murphy as Lando, like that, like he's my Lando.
That's like the first.
Well, that's
that's
just
the
racist.
First thing that just.
Wow. I'm sorry.
See, that's where I had Tim Meadows as Lando Calrissian as like the ladies' man.
That
like
those both work. Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd. Anybody got anything?
I considered him for Vader, but yeah, I don't know. He doesn't really out of the characters that are available, he doesn't really fit anything to me.
And I mentioned the pre-show Al Franken as Vader would have been fun.
That would have been funny.
Really short Vader,
and that's okay.
I thought about Christopher Guest as either my Vader or my Obi-Wan, just as like that, like calm, like kind of like he was in The Princess Bride, kind of level, just to even out some of the manic people I drafted.
Who did you have for that one?
Christopher Guest.
Oh yeah, see, I was thinking of him as Tarkin, but
same exact
character.
Yeah.
Same exact character though, the six-fingered man. Yeah.
He'd have been a good emperor. Chris Guest.
He would be.
He exudes that like certain like snottiness to him, you know.
I'm trying to think if I had anyone. I'm looking if I had anyone else. I had a bunch of different options for Leia, but like
Gilda Radner I had on my list for Leia.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I had Fred Armisen as 3PO. I don't know if I mentioned that one already.
Oh, I like that one.
That's
Fred Armisen as 3PO.
That's a really good one. I love Fred Armisen. He's so underrated.
Like a real hipster C-3PO. Armisen could do.
Janine Garofalo is Princess Leia.
I'm not sure on that one.
Like a snotty jerk, basically. Yeah, Jan Hooks would have been a perfect lightsaber. Thanks, Kevin. I forgot Chris Elliott was on the cast.
See, which one is it with the space slug? Is that Empire? Is that where the thing comes out of the moon, like tries to eat the ship as they're going out? Like Chevy Chase,
Empire.
Chevy Chase being that, like the land shark would have been awesome.
Just a dolphin, man.
Like Family Guy having Meg is that when they did the South
Yeah. Man, those Family Guy episodes are great.
The guy's
Wait
like,
a second.
He's got the thing, and he's like, "Pachoo, gotcha."
Yump just put pull up that Yump comment. Would have liked Catan. That's Salacious
exactly
P.
what-
Crumb, man.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on.
what Chorizy mentioned.
When I found out that Salacious Crumb had a middle initial, that was a big day for me.
Beef.
I have no idea what it stands for.
All Salacious Crumb does is laugh. Wouldn't that
Benjamin.
be a good one for Jimmy Fallon?
That's that's a good call.
Because he can't get through a damn scene without laughing.
Yeah, that's it. That is a good point.
What's his middle name?
I did get mad though, and Brian, I don't want to spoil this for you, but in The Mandalorian when they were like cooking up those salacious crumbs, like that's not good. You can't be eating my guy.
Yeah.
Gotta eat, man.
And I gotta watch those.
That's a My Sock Summer move, man. Just eating sentient beings.
Is that all he does?
He's a cannibal, so you know.
All right.
Can we say allegedly, or are you confirming on the
I'm
show?
just
Breaking
confirming.
news.
You're confirming cannibalism.
There you go. There's
I
that
went to
one.
his house. There was a human leg in the fridge. He was like, that's lunch.
Well, alrighty then. I wouldn't put it past him.
Did we miss any like huge SNL cast members? I feel like we probably like just.
Well, if
Did
we
not
don't
think of
mention
someone.
Garrett Morris, at least by name, I think Mailman Jack's gonna stab us. So
Yeah.
sorry,
I could-
We gotta mention Garrett Morris. Sorry
I could not find a spot for him
for those that are hard of hearing.
because there's like some really famous people that were on there, but like they weren't like I don't feel like they were big SNL people like Chris Rock. Like I don't feel like Chris
Right.
Rock's like a big SNL guy.
Joe Piscopo.
Joe Piscopo was I had him I thought about him for Han Solo, but I couldn't make it work in my brain.
Yeah, I mean,
The hard thing
Damon
with going-
Wayans was a cast member for a while.
Yeah.
Very short while.
Yeah. There wasn't.
Ben Stiller too.
Yeah, those like that's what I'm talking about. Those are guys that are like they're huge now.
Yeah.
But like you don't associate them with SNL.
No.
The hard
Not
thing
like-
for going with the really, really big names is you figure somebody else is going to take them. So you're trying to like plan your whole thing around who you think you can get.
I mean, we will get some flack for not having Eddie Murphy on the board. I
yeah.
think that's
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
gonna be his-
100%.
Yeah.
100%. What was I going to say here? I just saw a cast member that we. Never mind. I guess. All right. All right. Well, that's about all we got here, huh? It is definitely wild. I agree, Beef. That no Eddie Murphy. Well, those are probably the two biggest stars in the history of
The fair one I regret not taking him as C-3PO. But
Yeah.
you know.
And I had him as
I
had him as Chewbacca.
All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap things up here. You got anything to plug, Chorizy?
Of course, every Thursday night.
Always.
Check me out on the From the 108 podcast live on YouTube at youtube.com/from the 108. And I was talking about this yesterday on Beef's show, the au jus. I think this year, I'm hoping that we're going to get some Star Wars live action shows, and from a Southside point of view, we'll be back with me and Josh Nelson.
Right on. Bologna?
Yeah, so the Bumcast Monday nights, little, Chicago sports talk and a lot of nonsense. We've been doing a lot more nonsense the last couple episodes. And then, like we mentioned, Dougie was in the comments. We were doing the MCU review. He's never seen any of the MCU movies, and he's powering through them at a good clip. So we've got like 4 or 5 under our belt. We just recorded Captain America: The First Avenger that drops on Thursday. And then Yumper and Tony are going to join us for The Avengers, and that's the first big blockbuster that I'm excited to see Dougie's thoughts on it. So that's all on the Chicago Sports Bums YouTube channel.
Sweet. All right, well, Friday, Tony and I'm just going to talk about Penguin business real quick here. Friday, Tony and Yumper will be on for another episode at the show. They're going to be going over From Dusk Till Dawn. Actually, they're doing a deep dive on that, and they'll also have yeah, it's fucking great. I love it too. They're also gonna have Keelan on to do In Defense Of, so that'll be a fun one. Next week, or no, actually, I'm sorry, tomorrow, Brewhan Luke will be back with Grateful. I don't remember what the name of the show is anymore. Grateful Ducks. Grateful Ducks. College football. We'll be on tomorrow. Yes, my dad would actually make a pretty good C-3PO. You're right, Kevin. If C-3PO had a mustache. And then so I'm working on a couple of drafts that are coming up. We're going to do a wrestling one, worst wrestling gimmicks of all time. That'll be coming in a couple of weeks. I got a couple of food ones working around. I'm also working on a baseball one that's going to be in a few weeks. I'm going to be with Steve Niss and then Mitch Kaminsky from Pinwheels and Ivy. We're going to do a baseball fantasy draft, every position, and you have to pick a player from each decade, from the 1950s to 2020s. As part of your team.
I like that.
That's going to be a fun one. It'll probably be like a 5-hour episode. But yeah, so we got a lot of stuff cooking. The 18th is going to be the wrestling one, and I think we're going to do I'll mention more. I'm working on it on the panel, but I think we're going to do an episode that actually our buddy Gordo mentioned to me. Obviously, Gordo mentions the one where the topic is munchies. So we're going to do that one probably next week. So be on the lookout for date and time on that one. But yeah, let's go wrap this up. Thank you guys for being on, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Brian.
Brian, just leave us?
He just left. We can't end the show, Brian, unless we want to talk. What do you want to talk about? I think we're still live. It's still running.